TMAM methods. So TMAM allow us to systematically find true performance battling in our processor without guesswork and also without the need to be a micro-architect expert. So for that, TMAM organize dominant battling in hierarchical structure. So for example, for the top level category, we have the retiring category, which means our processor in this case is busy fetching and retiring instruction. And then you have the bad speculation category, which means our processor in this case is no water. And then the bad speculation category, which means in this case that our processor is busy doing not useful work. So for example, it's fetching and executing instructions that will never retire. For example, because of a lot of branch misprediction. So our processor is doing a lot of bad assumption, and there is a lot of branch misprediction. So this is that category. And then you have the front-end bound and back-end bound category, which means our processor is stalled in this case. In the first case, because the front-end part of the processor is undersupplying its back-end. And the second case, back-end bound, means that the back-end cannot handle more micro-operation. And then every category is subdivided in subcategory. For example, the back-end bound is subdivided in core bound and memory bound. So basically, the drill down is done until reaching the left node. And to allow us to focus on only what really matters, different predefined metric and threshold are used. So the good news that we don't have to implement this method ourselves because it's already implemented in many production tools. So for example, Linux Perf, recent version of the Linux Perf implement only the top level category in this case. So, but we can use other tool on top of Perf. For example, you can use the Perf tool to analyze only the top level category, but to drill down further, you can use, for example, the top level tool, which is basically a tool built on top of the Linux Perf tool, and allow us also to check the other different category. You can also use the Intel Vitron, which is a great tool for analyzing processor performance. And also, I think it is a great tool to begin learning the TMAM methods because it's very easy to use and it's very well documented. For example, we can quickly access different description and tuning types for every category. And also, with only a few clicks, we can analyze performance problem at a lower level, for example, at the functional level. You can see here that the get consistent read Oracle kernel function that we have spotted earlier is bound to our main memory. That's why it was running with the high CPI. So let's see more example to understand more this method. So here I'm gonna analyze a CPU or a memory-intensive workload generated using the slop tool. So here is an extract of my slop configuration. Here I'm playing with only a small working data set, about 1,500 megabytes, with only 3 slop sessions. So, and here is extract from TMAM methods applied. We could have obtained the same result using also the top level tool. And one of the highlights performance battling here is DTLB overhead. So the DTLB basically is the data transaction loop-side buffer. It's a small buffer for storing virtual to physical memory translation, and it has a very few entries. So, and let's check the recommendation. One of the recommendation here is to use large pages. So even here, if I'm using a very small system global area in my database, about 2 gigabytes, I think, and the system here, the tool recommend me to use large pages. Okay, so let's do that. So after enabling large pages, I have about 10% improvement in my logical input-output signal, and the transaction loop-side buffer overhead have almost, or pressure on the data have almost disappeared, and also I have a slightly better CPI. That's good. Let's now take a look at other remaining performance battling in our system. So it seems that performance of my application here is still limited by the main memory access latency and also by high memory bandwidth utilization. Okay, so but how much memory bandwidth you are really using? So as we usually monitor our storage bandwidth utilization or network bandwidth utilization, It's also good to monitor our memory bandwidth utilization, and using the different hardware events, we can actually get a really good measure of it. For example, in the target system, we are using about more than 40% of available memory bandwidth. And it is also very important to know that this high memory bandwidth can also affect our main memory latency, because even those two metrics are always described independently, they are interrelated. You can see here using this graph how the memory latency is affected at different memory bandwidth points. So basically there is three main regions: constant region, linear region, exponential region. And the memory latency will begin to be impacted at about 40% of our memory bandwidth utilization. And when the memory bandwidth utilization reaches 18%, there is a high impact on our main memory latency. Okay, this is great in theory, but what about our actual system? We can do that using the memory latency checker. So this tool allows us to measure how our memory latency is affected at different memory bandwidth points. This is great. You can analyze the scalability in our system or check our actual system and not really on some theory, okay? And then we can check here that we have obtained almost a similar graph that the one described earlier. But, so basically, as we have seen, and as stated by Brenda and Greg, so performance monitor counter or hardware event are very crucial for analyzing model performance battling, which are commonly residing in our memory subsystem. Okay, I think I finished it. Nice, so quite quick. Okay, thank you for your attention. I've enjoyed the session. 27 minutes, that's a record. I've done it in 14 minutes. I have never done it in 27 minutes. That may be some frustration.
Performance tuning.
Yeah. So any question or first question?
Very good license.
Yeah. So thank you. And that's the backup slide. Okay, thank you. Question?